first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we do every weekday, starting around 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon, and covering a wide range of topics. Today, we are talking about independent film and a movie filmed here in Portland called The Great Divide. A really interesting partnership and story behind this, all shot in a home in Southwest Portland. And we're going to be talking all about that right now. We have the director, John Skipp, joining us, and producer Sarah Brody Webb, who is also an actor in this. And thanks to both of you, for joining us here today to talk about it. I love finding out about, film production and different things, creative things that are happening here in this area. And this is certainly one of those. And Skipp, I was hoping, maybe you could start off with this because there's a unique partnership here with the Actors Lab, and really, maybe you could explain it the best, but just a really interesting way that this went about being made.
Okay, basically, I joined the Actors Lab to be a better director of actors. And I met Christina Haddad, who is our brilliant teacher, and the class in Thursday morning. And I fell in love with the actors there and just their amazing talent and skill, and just watching them develop week after week after week. And at a certain point, I'm listening to them say, man, I wish I had they're looking for great monologues or scenes to do. And I'm like, I'll just write you some. And at a certain point, it became clear that this needed to happen. So I'm like, let's do a feature film so we can have great scenes that everybody can have on their reel. And there'll be stars on their IMDb page, and it'll be awesome. And I started getting an idea. And that's when I went to Sarah and said, could we maybe shoot at your house?
Well, I love that idea that it's so that everybody can get a good monologue out of it too. I mean, in addition to being a good film, but that everybody gets to have that kind of piece that they can put onto their reel. That's pretty great.
That was the beginning.
As actors, you may have heard this. We're always encouraged to make our own work. It can be a hard road to sit around waiting for that perfect role to land in your lap. And so from day one, since we started in the industry, go make your own work and have something going on, have a project on the back burner. And so that's what we did. We jumped in and made our own feature film, and we're pretty proud of the result.
And tell us about the film itself, because it's called The Great Divide. What is it actually, the plot of this?
Basically, it's about what happens when the world's richest old lady dies, and her dysfunctional family and a bunch of their hangers-on all gather together to figure out what piece of the pie they get, of the multi-billion-dollar pie. So it's a satire on wealth inequality on the one hand, dysfunctional families on the other, and just it's a kooky comedy with some real, genuine, heartbreaking moments in it.
I mean, with a premise like that too, I would think that would lend itself to some pretty interesting characters throughout that.
That was the thing. Writing great characters for these actors.
That's really where we started, was looking at who we wanted to play as characters, what the makeup of our class was, which, by the way, ranges in age from, I think, 22 to late 60s. So it was no small feat for Skipp to write a feature film with a pretty juicy role for every single one of us in the class. And so we really started with the characters. I play the youngest daughter of the McMahon family, and that's my sister, Eleanor. Those are my kids there. That's my brother. So it really built around these characters in the McMahon family. And then Skipp took that and expanded it and made these wonderful roles really for every single person in the class, which was truly amazing, and for which we're all incredibly grateful.
They're all so good. That was the thing. It was such a pleasure to write for them, to see what their strengths were, and just go, okay, let's let everybody see what you can do.
And give everybody that chance to showcase that. And
yeah.
It certainly looks like that, even from watching the trailer. And I know the feedback too has been pretty great so far. So this has been shown a couple of places, and I wonder if you could talk about that. Once you brought this out for people to see it for the first time, and then there's probably nerves, I would imagine anyway, anytime you're presenting something that you've worked so hard on. But what was the feedback like when it first came out there?
We had an amazing response from the community. I can't tell you, it was absolutely heartwarming. We sold out 2 nights, and packed packed house. That's not including all the comps that we had for the cast members and the crew. So 2 nights at McMenamin School, the response was really overwhelming. It was amazing. Obviously, there were a lot of friends and family of the cast members in there, so everybody cheering for the people they knew. But there were also a lot of people that really didn't know anything about the film. Skip and I had done a little interview on NPR earlier that week, and we had people showing up who had heard about it on the radio and came. One woman brought her 19-year-old son for his birthday, and he loved it. And so that was a really great testament to, this is not just a film for us, it's really a film that our audience is going to love as well.
It is an audience-friendly film.
That's great. I mean, and as you mentioned, somebody who's bringing a 19-year-old there, but, it seems like even, as you mentioned with the actors, it's across all kinds of different ages and demographics. So it seems like it's something that, would work for a lot of different people to be able to watch this. Now, when it comes to, talking about actors in here in the Northwest and Skip, you as well, being the director, but, what's that camaraderie like for actors here in the Northwest, for people who may not be part of the film scene and understand it?
Sarah, you want to take it?
We are all. I started acting late in life, so I don't have the experience of coming up through LA or another, market. But what I've discovered, not just in our Actors Lab class, but really in Portland at large, so
Guys, Chris just sent in the list of speakers sent back with his feed on the earthquake state level.
Might be cutting out there just a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. I was just hearing a lot of feedback. Anyway, we had audience members, across the board, other actors, other crew, and everybody was cheering us on. So I would say it's an incredibly supportive community here in Portland, and we're really blessed to have that. It's not like that in other markets.
I lived for many years in Los Angeles, and this is a very different scene, and I really, really like it. And I have to say, the professionalism, cross cast and crew, every bit as high as you would ask for in the major markets. Everybody's fantastic.
That's great.
Shot and lit and recorded, it just beautiful. It's a real movie.
Yeah, and Sarah, so this was in your house, is that right?
Was.
So what was it like turning your house into a set for over a week or however long it took to shoot this?
It was over the span of 10 days. It was chaos, but it's a big old house. It's got a lot of different parts. I have a finished basement with a pool table, so that was a big part of the scene, was the party scene there. But then I have another room we turned into like our green room, so we'd have people hanging out in there. We had people sleeping there at random times of the day because we were shooting really long hours. So at any time of day, there were people in various parts of my house, and it was really exciting, though. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been on a film set, but to have one in the house, I was giddy, literally, for 10 days. So it was a lot of work. I don't know that I would do it again anytime soon, but I'm never. I really enjoyed it.
Well, for you too, so just one other question there. You mentioned that you started acting later in life, and so what was it that drew you to want to get involved with something like this?
Well, honestly, I'd always had a little bit of a bug to act, but I kind of pushed it aside and, had a career and raised kids instead. And then I found myself on a film set as a background actor about 6 years ago. And it was a long day. It was probably a 14-hour day. And I was blown away by the energy, the excitement. But the biggest thing I noticed is this is a set with probably 30 actors, 20 crew, and everything is moving. Everybody knew their job. Everybody was responsive, polite, respectful, and we had fun. And I thought, this doesn't happen in corporate America. Like, it just doesn't. I'm like, I want to know how this functions. And I just went around and like, what's your job? What's your job? Well, I'm first camera. I'm second camera. I'm sound. I'm boom. And I just was like, oh, I want more. I became obsessed with just getting myself on set. So I did a lot of background work, still trying to hold a job. And eventually things in my life shifted. My kids left the house, and I discovered that I had time. And I was prepared to jump in and do it seriously. And have been really full-time actor and now producer ever since then. job I ever had.
That's really great. Able to find that and have something that's bringing so much joy for you, and to be able to, as you mentioned too, like create work as well, and bring in all of these other people and have everybody involved. And Skip, to that extent, for people out there who haven't seen the movie, what would you want them, since you wrote this, what would you want them to take away from watching The Great Divide? What's the feeling that you want them to have after watching this movie?
It's really hilarious. The old Hollywood cliche is, I laughed, I cried, it became a part of me. But the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of laughs in it, and there are a couple of places where people genuinely cry. So that's all I would really, really ask, is to create an experience for people, an emotional experience for people, where they really feel the characters. One of the main things about it is that when we put together the characters, it was, let's have one good thing about you and one not so good thing about you. So there's no heroes or villains. Everybody's just complicated people living their lives. And so I think there's a lot of it has a very good natured vibe to it, as dark and crazy as it occasionally gets.
That's a great description right there. So it sounds like it's got a little bit of everything for people, who want to go in and check it out. And Sarah, I know that there's going to be some more screenings coming up, because obviously the last ones were so successful, the ones that you've had. When do we know some of the next opportunities that people will be able to check this out?
We do. So there's one coming up on November 10th, a matinee in Astoria, Oregon, if you happen to be at the coast, at the Columbian Theater there, which is a beautiful historic cinema. And then here in Portland on December 9th at the Clinton Street Theater, 7 p.m., doors at 6:30. We will have tickets available for sale soon. Folks can follow and the Great Divide Movie, or check out our website, and they'll be all they need.
Great, and that, just to reiterate that, so as The Great Divide Movie, is that the correct website?
The Instagram is The Great Divide Movie, and the website is thegreatdividemovie.org.
.org, perfect. So people can go there and take a look at that and pick up some tickets. Those are two great theaters that's going to be in. And congratulations on this. I think that's just a really cool story of everything coming together and everybody working together and having it here, with the local scene, and being able to make such a great film that people are really responding to is fantastic. So thank you both for joining me here today. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. This was a blast.
Pleasure.
And for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now, so we are live streaming. We're going to take a break here. We've got more coming up throughout the afternoon, because we cover a wide range of topics. You can check all those out. The Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel at kptv.com, under the Fox 12 Now tab, or of course, the Fox 12 Oregon apps. And thanks for being here with us. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.